Hey guys, it's Old Man G here, back again with a post-match reaction, audio post-match reaction. Partizan Belgrade nil, Manchester United 1. Guys, it's going to be literally a quick post-match reaction. It is a bit early, I do apologize, but not great. But we won. That is basically the moral of this whole thing. To be honest, what can I say? To be honest. First half was okay-ish, maybe. We got the penalty. Obviously, Brandon Williams, in my opinion, played very, very well. At least for 60 minutes anyway, then sort of faded out. Martial looks incredibly rusty, having been out for 8 weeks. He just looks, you know, if anyone's been watching my FIFA streams, PES streams, I have high expectations for Martial, and he looks just unfit. And maybe there is an attitude thing there because he literally did nothing in the entire game. He was arguably, I would say, in my opinion, United's worst player. In my opinion, I generally think that he did not perform well at all. And I think it was sort of a situation where if this was any of the top players, any of the top players, they would make an effort when they were out. I know he's been injured. I know it's not been ideal, but they usually make an effort to come back, on form, doing very well. Anthony Martial, has not, and I just think it's quite, in my opinion, disconcerting. Maybe that he just, we expect him to start against Norwich. And maybe this was just a bit rusty. Maybe he didn't go all out.
But when
Yes,
they
the
were
pitch.
out, I know he's been
Sorry,
injured. I know it's not been.
let me just mute that. But maybe it's a bit rusty. It's a way to supposed to go around it and serve. There's obviously reasons. But yeah, that's my one thing. That's my big sort of one of my take homes, that Martial just looked dreadful. Frankly, he looked really, really, really bad. So yeah, I'm quite disappointed in that respect. Other thing to mention, guys, is Ole Gunnar's sort of formation. We started, from what I gather, which was 5-3-2, 3-5-2, which seemed to work against Liverpool. But it's great. It's great they worked against Liverpool, but I don't think that it should. I don't think that it's something that should work. That it's great if you want to play teams that are going to come at us and give us space and cause problems. So Partizan Belgrade clearly was set up initially anyway to defend quite well, and then the second half, if you can see the second half, they seem to be like, oh, okay, mate, these people are not actually going to come at us like at all. They're literally not going to come at us at all. Like let's just go. Let's just play against them. Let's just let's put a pressure. And in that entire second half, I think Partizan Belgrade were arguably the better side. They had more shots, more attempts, and but for Romero's goalkeeping escapades, I generally don't think we would have had a chance. To be honest. So it goes back to, it's like the title said. We won. But to be honest, had this been Chelsea, you look at Chelsea's away performance against Ajax, and it was also 1-0. But the manner that they won it, you can say, my goodness, this team is really going to be going places, and we switch up youth as well. We had two youth players in Garner and Williams. Well, okay, we had quite a few youth players, but Garner and Williams were the youth players that started. So I'm glad they started. But everyone else, Martial was obviously experienced, Mel's obviously in goal for obvious reasons. Maguire is an experienced defender. Phil Jones is an experienced defender. Wan-Bissaka, you could argue, maybe is still new. And those, and obviously midfield with McTominay, okay, maybe still young but experienced. Who else was in our midfield? Matt obviously there, Lingard back. So we have at least good experienced players in our squad. Jamie, thanks for joining the stream. Jamie, one shot on target, and that was the penalty. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. It's like we have experienced players. It's not that we're just playing all kids. And again, I say strategy, tactics, what we're doing. It looked like again almost like we're playing against the Mourinho where it's this pattern I'm seeing over and over again where we seem to be afraid, really, really, really afraid to shoot. I noticed a few opportunities, those where we prefer to pass sideways and actually take a shot at goal. Moreover, there were so many times in that game where I was like, why are there 10 men in United half? Like, why? Like, are we really that? Yes, okay, they had the Nigerian attacker was causing us problems and made Phil Jones and Harry Maguire, frankly, sit on their asses quite a few times during the game. Thanks for anyone who's watching, by the way. But to be honest, Partizan they weren't a threat from the wings, they weren't a threat from midfield, they were not good. And certainly for the first, I would argue, 50, 60 minutes, they weren't that good at all. So why didn't we press? Why didn't we go forward? I think, yes, in 60 minutes, he brought on... what was strange, I think, was that when he actually brought on Rashford, who was playing alongside Martial, and then he brought on Daniel James, so I thought we're going to be, okay, these are going to be attacking substitutions. These are going to attack, we're going to attack, we're going to attack, we're going to go forward. That didn't happen. If anything, it felt like we were even more defensive with Rashford and Daniel James on. I didn't understand that. It was strange. It was weird. It was like, but hang on for a second. Hang on. We should be going for it now. Why aren't we going for the jugular? Instead, we were almost holding on for the last 20 minutes. And that should be happening at Manchester United. I know people say, don't complain, don't moan, it's fine, don't, we won, don't be negative. I don't want to be negative. At the end of the day, we won, and the chances of us not coming out of the this Europa League group are minimal. And if we get 1-0, 1-0 all the way to the final 1-0, ultimately it's a Champions League spot. That will buy Solskjaer some time for next season, and we'll take it from there. I think if Solskjaer gets a Champions League spot by hook or by crook, he'll be manager for next season. That's the reality of it. If he gets 5th or 6th, possibly. Anything outside of that, and there'll be concerns. But on this performance, this was poor. This was poor. It was boring. It was like, why can't you go back, Ollie? Why can't you go back to how you're playing before? I don't understand. Jamie, maybe we're just saving energy for Norwich. Possibly. Possibly. I don't know. Yes, in a way, it would be better if these players didn't get injured and stuff like that. I get that. But I just feel that, like, Partizan Belgrade are not a good team. Yes, it wasn't a great pitch, but we should really be taking out these guys. Maguire was poor today. I don't know whether Axel, I presume Twansib is still injured. But to be honest, like, for me, Twansib is the... Considering the fact that Maguire, we spent 80 million on Maguire, and considering the fact that, that Axel has come from an academy, you arguably couldn't tell the difference between the two. Nino Belov, 3 penalties not signaled for Partizan. Judge earned millions. I'm assuming you're a Partizan Belgrade fan. I mean, to be honest, mate, I think a lot of that is because there's no VAR. There's no VAR. If there was VAR in the Europa League, I agree with you. I think that I think it came off Ghana. I think it was off his hand. I don't think that was deliberate handball, but VAR, if VAR saw that, VAR would have given that as a handball, and Belgrade would have had a penalty. So Partizan had a penalty, but that was not the case. Partizan, I agree, Nino Provo. To be honest, I did think the referee was actually quite biased towards Manchester United, and Partizan arguably deserved the penalty and also deserved the point. United, to be honest, weren't that great. They really weren't. And I'd be very... Let's be frank, guys. On this performance, do you see Manchester United getting top 4? I don't. Nina Belev, yep, I'm both a Partizan and Manchester United fan. Well, mate, thank you for coming to the channel. If you like what you're hearing, please like, share, and subscribe. to Red Devil Studio. Really appreciate. I really appreciate the support, and we want to keep this obviously engaged and get this channel to grow. So, but welcome to Red Devil Studio. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, mate. To be honest, I think that United, certainly from the second half. Hang on for 1 second. Red Devil Studio live is after this. Sorry. Let you in, so I'm doing a post-match reaction. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I generally think that United were very lucky to get a win here. And I mean, what do you think, guys? Let me know. Do you actually think that on this form, on this basis, that Manchester United are going to be going places? That Manchester United, that Ollie has the ability to turn this around, because on this form, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I don't see it at all. We're actually in about 10 minutes or so. We're going to be doing Red Devils for 15 minutes. We're going to be doing Red Devil Studio live. We're going to be talking about a few of these things. So this is actually just a short stream, a short post-match reaction. There's not going to be a lot. This isn't going to be a long one. I'll possibly do a lot longer one after the match against Norwich on the weekend. Although I'm going to be away this weekend, so that might be quite late. Regardless, we got the win, which was great. But the performance was very poor. And to only have one shot on target, and that was from the penalty, is diabolical for a team where, as Nino just said, is paid by these players are getting paid millions of pounds, right? They're getting paid millions of pounds, and you can't beat Partizan Belgrade. You struggle. You labour against AZ Alkmaar, and we just about beat Astana. It's not good enough. Jamie, I knew this game was going to be like this, getting a scrappy goal and barely getting the win. Possibly, I thought at least 2-0, and to be honest, from the first half performance, I was like, you know what? We were unlucky with a few of our attempts, hit the post, blah, blah, blah. In the second half, we're going to just go all out and finish the game off. And that just didn't happen. And that was very disappointing. Nina Bell, I was kind of disappointed by the play of the Reds. Not the best play for sure. It was woeful. Simple as that. It was absolutely and totally woeful. Raymond Moore, good to see you back on channel all the way from Singapore. Man United first team are looking like Man United under 23s. Even Man United play better football than this shit. At times, and this is the thing, because there have been excuses, and we've been thinking, oh, okay, yes, it's because of injuries, it's because of we don't have better players coming in, But I'm looking at that team tonight, and I'm thinking, okay, yes, Fred's not there. Does Fred and Pereira come in there and improve that squad? Does Shaw come in, and improve that squad? Does Pogba might improve that squad? Maybe. Who's injured or who wasn't playing? Okay, maybe you put Lindelof into the Phil Jones who was having a banter game. But I'm looking at that squad there, and I'm thinking the players that we have out coming into that squad. I'm thinking, would they actually have improved it? Would it have actually been a better performance? New guy, Killian, welcome to the channel. If you're new, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Really appreciate it. Killian says, absolute sham performance. It's clear playing in a two-man midfield simply doesn't fit this team. It's a miracle we didn't concede. I agree. Terrible going forward as well. Don't see us going deep into this tournament. That's because, to be honest, mate, this is probably our best chance of 9 people watching, 9 likes, 9 shares, please. This is basically our best chance of getting top 4. Because honestly, I don't see us getting top 4 via the league, frankly, because Chelsea look too good. City and Liverpool are on a different level, and Leicester City are at least consistent. That for me has always been my predicted top 4 prediction. I think Spurs are too inconsistent, and I think Arsenal have a crappy away record. So those 4 teams, United, Sorry, City, Liverpool, Leicester, and Chelsea. I think are going to get top four this season, and probably Liverpool will end up winning the league. Jamie, Mata played a full 90 minutes. That sums up everything up. Mata was not great, but was Mata playing centrally? I don't think so. I don't know. I think it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. It really wasn't good. Sorry, we've got 10 people watching. So just to point out, we are doing Red Devil Studio live in about 10 minutes. So this isn't going to be this shouldn't be anyway, a short stream. But if we do get tons of people watching, we'll probably try and push Red Devil Studio live back at least a little bit. I mean, I don't know, guys. I really don't. I never like being negative when we win games. I don't. But when you see a pattern of football, a style of play that frankly is woeful, so bad. What choice do we have? What choice? I guess the only question is, he's obviously not. Ollie's obviously not going to get the sack from winning this game. He's not. But at what point do we say, right? We go to Norwich away and we get spanked. And if Norwich beat us, bear this in mind, guys. If Norwich beat us at the weekend, we will be on the same point as Norwich, and we could possibly be a point away from the relegation zone. We have relegation form right now. We have averaging a point a game. Just over a point, and averaging just under a goal a game, which is awful. Which is really bad, and I don't really know the best way to sort that out. To be honest, I really don't. Stay tuned. Just as a plug again, Red Devil Studio Live. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Smash that notification button to get the latest videos, post-match reaction, live interaction, etc. But we are starting Red Devil Studio Live in about 10 minutes, where we're basically going to talk about, quite a lot of things. Unai Emery, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Liverpool win and his future, Kylian Mbappe, Champions League, just various topics around Europe. It's really good. It'll be going on for a good hour, so that's actually coming soon. This is just going to be a quick post-match reaction, just getting a few of your vibes. Skidder ZX, hey man, how you doing? You're right. Raymond, I'm happy that Ollie's playing the youngsters, but we're looking like trash in front of Partizan fans. Skizzy, where's the face cam? Not tonight, unfortunately. Not tonight. We're just doing audio. I'm hoping to bring back face cam watch-alongs, but a lot of this is just really just audio for most of it. That's often how we do a lot of these videos. But I'm going to try and bring that back. It's just connections. I mean, my connection is not that great. The camera right now is not that great either. But I agree. Just to go back, I agree with you, Raymond. I just think that it's and if you're new to SkidderX, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate it. I think it looked like Martial was incredibly rusty. Sorry, give me 2 seconds, guys. I need to quickly get the charger, otherwise this is going to die. 1 second. Sorry, back. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Ping. So yeah, poor is basically what I would say from the game. It was a win. A very important win. And obviously we're going to get out of the group. Obviously, I think it depends on who drops out of the Champions League and comes in, that will determine how good we actually can be. But frankly, it just wasn't a good performance. It just really wasn't. Jamie, surely we score more than one goal against Norwich. They got smashed by Villa. You'd think that. But do you think that Norwich is worse than Partizan Belgrade or Astana? Most of the locals, were interviewed basically before and said they thought that this was going to be a hiding from United, and yet we struggled. So I don't take any chances against Norwich. And to be honest, a lot of teams are using Manchester United as like their leapfrog for the season. So Crystal Palace beat us and then start to do well. Newcastle beat us and then start to do semi well. So I think if you're looking at like these lower teams, they're thinking, you know what? If we beat Manchester United, that would be a confidence booster. And I think a lot of teams are just using United as a confidence boost because we are so bad. And we need to improve quickly because the results just are not good enough. And I'm sorry, but 1-0, yes, the only argument could be fine, fine, fine. They've taken it easy because we're playing Norwich. But honestly, what players do you think that could have been brought into that team, aside from possibly Pogba, maybe Twancibi in at centre back, that could have actually improved that performance? I don't know. I don't know. And I think when Partizan looked and saw that actually, hang on for a second, these guys are trash, are not great, we can actually get at them and hurt them, they started to open up. And the thing is, Ollie's playing us as a counter-attack inside, but to be honest, in the second half, we did it poorly. We weren't even able to do that because Partizan putting so much pressure on us. We couldn't even come out. It was that bad. We had 10 men and a half for most of the half. It was bad. And Raymond, overall win is a win. I still take it as a positive outcome. Yeah, of course. Just like a draw against Liverpool is a positive outcome at Old Trafford. But the concern for me, as always, and we'll talk a bit about REDEVILSTUDIO live, so I'm going to just end this post-match reaction now, is that the style of play, the tactics, players coming back in, I just don't think it's good enough. But anyway, thanks for listening for this post-match reaction, guys. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to be starting REDEVILSTUDIO live in about 5-6 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be talking about a lot of range of issues. If you like what you hear and you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to REDEVILSTUDIO. Have a nice evening, guys, and cheers.